All right. So today, back out a little bit. There we go. Today we're going to clean the old truck up and reapply some wipe-on clear coat, or apply some wipe-on. I used the Poppy's Patina last time, and I sprayed it on. That was about 2 years ago. Yeah, around 2 years. 20. Yeah, a little over 2 years ago. It come out really well. But I kind of abused it, left it parked outside a lot in the hot sun all summer underneath the oak tree, and just probably would have lasted longer if I'd have took better care of the finish, but it still don't look bad. The top of the hood gets a little dry now. I've cleaned it yesterday evening, and it looks pretty good clean, for an old rusty truck, but the upper flat surfaces, didn't last long. Also, when I finally got around to cleaning it last summer after it set in the sun and all that, and had tree pollen all over it, I cleaned it up and I decided, it was like, well, maybe some wax will bring it out, and the wax did not go well. It was just a horrible idea to wax that stuff. Should have used something different. I just tried to wax it like I would a regular car kind of thing, and the finish was already a little compromised, so the wax just looked bad. So I broke out the pressure washer and gave it a good squirt, and it to get the wax that wouldn't lay out kind of thing, and it took a lot of the shine off of it at the time. So I'm just going to reapply it. Basically start over. The doors still look good. The horizontal surfaces that weren't sitting out in the sun, but the flat surfaces where the dust lands and everything, that's what got to looking bad. They're not terrible bad, but just not like it was when I first done it. Speaking of wax, the wax did good on the spot where there was still some original paint and everything, and and the clear coat wasn't all compromised from the sun and the dust and everything. So that wasn't really a problem, but anyway, going to start over. So I got online and I ordered another bottle of it. I sprayed it the first time and it came out well, and I liked it. But this time I'm going to try wiping it on. So I was digging around and I found this one on Vice Grip Garage. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll try this brand and see if it's any different. And so I ordered it up, and then of course the shipment came straight. When I got the UPS update, it said your package from Poppy's Patina will be arriving tomorrow. And so I checked it out, and it's Poppy's Patina with a different label, sold on the Vice Grip Garage website. So no biggie. Vice Grip Garage got a good show, good website and everything, and good place to sell your product, I guess. But this is a can from a couple of years ago, the leftover wax and grease remover that I had. Got a little bit left, but anyway, I just bought the basic kit, just the finish and the activator, or the catalyst, whatever they want to call it, and we're gonna clean it up and get it all applied and see how it looks. Been watching a lot of videos on YouTube, guys trying to do this and kind of screwing it up and getting a cloudy, streaked up finish. And I'm pretty sure from what I can see is they either didn't do a good surface prep or didn't wipe it on properly. And when you start wiping, you get one shot. Make a wipe. You got 20 seconds from when you first wipe it. If you go over it, that same spot again after 20 seconds, not going to be good. So best practice is do one panel at a time. Go quick, go straight, go smooth. Overlap, barely overlap, and do it quick. Overlap within 20 seconds. I think is the kind of the key on that 20-second application time from each pass kind of thing. So of course I'm gonna pick a spot as a test spot and go from there, see how it comes out before I do the whole truck, because I don't want to, that paint's been on there since the 50s, those hand painted logos. That's don't want to miss that. So I think I'm gonna do the inside of the tailgate first, just to see how it comes out. You know, that way if I gotta sand it off and start over, it's just an easy spot to work with, and it's you know, easy to get to. If I really screw it up, don't see much of it. You know, usually don't see the inside of that tailgate. And I use the truck as a truck, so it gets scratched up anyway, so I ain't too concerned with inside the bed. But I'm gonna get this mixed up and get a test panel going, get that tailgate prepped up, and see how it goes. Then I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours before I do the rest, you know, and see if I like it, kind of thing. So I'll keep posting and keep you updated, and we'll see how it goes. Hey, as far as the wax and grease remover part of it, I'm just going to use some naphtha, which is probably the same stuff. It's I know this has definitely got naphtha in it. Basically, it does the same thing, or supposed to do the same thing. It's a wax and grease remover and cleaner, and you thin enamel, you know, whatever. You probably know what naphtha is. Anyway, I'm gonna use that for the instead of the wax and grease remover from puppies. Already had a big can of it, you know, so see how it works. Lesson 1, don't mix it in these cheap plastic cups. All right, try that again. All right, so I mixed up just a tiny amount just for that, you know, test panel, and these cheap little plastic cups, it did not like it, just ate right through. So while I was mixing it up, I just mixed up about an ounce, but I dumped it in this little Tupperware bowl to use as a paint tray, and you can see the little pieces of white plastic from the cup that ended up in there. So it wasn't very much, but I threw it in there, and so, you know, it's like, oh well, that's ugly. So I didn't put it on the tailgate of this truck. I just was like, well, it's probably not good, so I just threw it on the tailgate of this one, you know, with no prep or anything. I just threw it on there to just an ounce, and I just wiped it on with a rag. Actually, don't look bad, but see how it looks when it dries. It's also out in the direct sunlight, you know, so which is not good, but see what happens. The you know, temperature is right for this. It says you know, between, I forget, and something and 77 degrees. It's only about 70, you know. Direct sunlight's probably a problem with it, but all right, I'm gonna go to the store, get some different mixing equipment, and my paint tray is one of these plastic ones, so I'm gonna go get a metal one just in case, and probably get a couple of them just for the backup, and get something different to mix it in, and get back to this later. All right. So, rub it down real good, and then take it back inside and start over. So, give it a good wash with some dish soap and Scotch-Brite. Kind of knock the shine off of what was left there from before. And make sure all the grease and wax and everything is off. Kind of don't want to sand too much into it, but do want to scuff up the paint a little bit. What paint's there, I don't want to lose, so just scuff it up a little bit. And the rusty spots, want to make sure I got them flat and smooth so they'll lay down. And when the clear coat lays down, gives you a smooth finish. I know it seems counterintuitive, scrubbing on your car with Scotch-Brite and dish soap, but do this or go ahead and sand it, and I just don't feel like sanding it. But I do want to make sure it's clean. Clean as I can get it. put on it will highlight everything. Highlight everything good and everything bad. Which, highlighting the rust is kind of the goal. One thing I don't want to do is rub too hard on these logos, because that was hand painted in the 50s. You do need to rough it up so the clips sort of stick to it. So, not going to do this too many times, but eventually I'll run out of this old paint. And there'll be nothing. Every time you scrub on it, you take a little bit off. Same with wax. When you wax a car, kind of eating into that paint a little bit at a time. That very, very thin amount, but still you are taking some off. So I'm going to keep going like this. I already got the other side. I get that spare tire off of there out of the way. I already scrubbed this side down. See, this is the I'm worried about still having a little bit of clear left over from before. I scrubbed on it pretty good. Once they're stuck, and the surface of it is pretty scuffed up, so I think it's going to cover up. After all the water dries, it looks completely different, so we'll see how it looks once it's dry. And if I got to go back and rough up some more spots, but not losing that logo is my goal. I think I'm gonna try this wipe on one time. One more time. I sprayed the same stuff, but I sprayed it last time and it come out good. It just didn't last a long time. And so I'm gonna try it again. I've got some spray on clear. This is just, I just hope I can get this right, because it's just, if I can, it's just so much easier, so much less work. You know, having to mask off the whole shop. I hit that with that first piece I mixed up earlier today, and it don't look terrible. And there was no prep on it or anything. That was just, I didn't want to put the stuff that melted the cup on this truck. This one I know I'm gonna do something with one day, and so I know that'll get sanded down again. But see, it looks great when it's wet. It just looks really, really dry when it's not. But this clear coat's gonna fix that, so it should look like this all the time. All right, got it cleaned up, scrubbed down with some Scotch-Brite. So I'm gonna let the water, you know, most of the water's dried, but I'm gonna let it dry overnight, and then, you know, tomorrow I'll wipe it down with some wax remover, some naphtha, and then just gonna go for it. And see what happens. This side of the hood was always a little drier because that's where the exhaust manifold is. So it rusted first, I guess. But still seems shiny on the shiny parts. I may go back and hit that again with something just to scuff it up a little better. Just want it to stick. I want it to look good, but you know, that's the money shot right there. I like it. But Call this a before. Then we'll get the after we're done. See what it looks like. But, yeah. See this little spot here? Last summer I was playing around with some Penetrol. It's called Flood, I think. It's a paint additive. And I heard a guy's using that as a patina preserver, like a clear coat for patina kind of thing. Slap that on. You know, it's just a paint additive, makes paint lay out flat kind of thing. Gets rid of brush marks, but I've seen it work really well in some old trucks. They just slap it on there, makes them shine. So just throw a little spot on there to see what it would look like on here when the truck was at its worst, out in the sun, you know, just sitting there baking. All the stuff was kind of off. Just dabbed a little on there just to see what it would look like. And it, you know, if the whole truck was looked like that, it would be better than the shape it's in right now. But ain't bad. I mean, it doesn't shine like the shiny clear coat does, but I've got a sneaky suspicion that Poppy's Patina, it's pretty much the same formula with a fancy label on it and a good sales pitch. You know, instead of $20 a can, get the old Poppy's Patina for 130. What is it? You know, it's old hot rodder's trick, but I slapped it on the tailgate of that Plymouth out there. Last summer one did this too, and it's, you know, didn't look bad. Looked better than the rest of the truck, but I don't know. Scared to put that all over it, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I got basically the bed and the roof and the back of the cab kind of done. So you can see the difference between the door and the back of the bed. I mean, I just finished wiping the last spot. Got to stopping to mix up some more product, but it's kind of how it's coming. And I'm going to get to the front of this and see what happens. Chicken's looking at me funny. All right, so we'll keep going. See if I can set it up. Get a little watch of the application. Mixed up. I'm going with the sponge. Came with it. It came with it. I bought some extra ones. Just very cloth covered sponges. These are working pretty good so far. Tend to lay it on a little bit thicker on his head. I don't want to run it either. It's still in those. As long as I'm keep it wet, you can keep going over it as long as it's wet. If it's dry, that's when you start seeing it. There's a lot of ugly spots. Keep it wet. If it's not wet, stop up. Worried about the trim. All the paint's clear, so should be okay. And I'm gonna spot it all more. I say to come off with some what is that chemical was? I called it out for that minute. Run out before it dries. That lays out not exactly as good as I like it, but there we go. Been on there too much to. I gotta put more on later. All right, so I got that piece under the hood that I didn't clean and didn't prep. It had a little left, so I just went ahead and daubed it up. It was dirty, so got the paint dirty, so make sure I don't put that on any external surfaces. But, painting the cup was clear until I did that. But it's looking good. I think all I got left is the door and the bottom half of the fender on this side. Okay. Pour this out and mix up some new. Put this dirty stuff on the hubcap so it isn't prep either. Just because. Just hubcaps. All right, it's on there. It's not bad. I'm about to pull it out into the sun. It's been about 30 minutes to an hour or so since I finished. So it's dry to touch, but definitely not cured. It takes 24 hours to fully cure, but it looks pretty good, except for the hood. Now, I didn't sand anything. I just kind of hit it with a Scotch-Brite while washing it. So I'm going to reapply it to the hood tomorrow after I give it 24 hours. Just the hood. I might redo the top too, but it's the only part I'm not happy with. I mean, I'm happy with it, but I think I can do better. If I wet sand it first, get a smooth. The smoother you get it, the more it's going to shine. This is where there's a lot of heat in the metal, over years, because that's where the exhaust is, and it's the exhaust manifold is right under that side. So that side was always drier and rougher. The metal was a lot rougher, kind of thing, and I never sanded it all the way. But I think if I wet sand it first and get it smoothed out, I can get that glass look like this, because this was, pretty smooth. Still having paint on it, a little bit. The others had no paint up there. The top of the roof is the same way. and I got a little bit of streak in it. I got a couple of runs right here where it come over the side when I'm standing up on the back. Also, I tried something that the instructions say don't do, and that's go back over it. You know, so after about, when I finished everything else, I come and tried to put a second coat on the top, and just to kind of see what because I knew I was going to probably sand it down if it didn't. And yeah, you wouldn't want that finish everywhere kind of thing. That where I put that second coat on the top is all hazy and streaked, and I mean, looks better than it did without anything on it, but still not where it should be kind of thing. But I'm gonna sand that down when I do the hood, you know, wet sand that too, and see if I can make that better. But I even threw a little bit, you know, just the last ring out of the sponge. I just hit the wood, but you know, it looks a little different, but you can't really tell. You know, one day I'll refinish that wood, but you know, later on. All right, let's pull this thing out in the sun and see what it looks like. Here's outside in the shade underneath the tree. Kind of impressed. I hit this bridge going 40, and I was still going 40 when I got to the top, so not bad. All right, so out in the sun. It's pretty shiny. So I'm out trying to find a place for a good backdrop, but where I live, it's not a lot of pretty backdrops. Kind of an industrial area. It's kind of swampy out here where I'm at currently, or not really swampy, more marshy. So it's marsh ain't even as pretty as swamps. So. But we do have a really cool bridge, so I was trying to get that bridge in the background. It's the Rainbow Bridge. It's crazy tall. It used to be just 2-lane when I was a kid, you know. And then they built this other bridge to replace it, but you know, because the other one's historic, they left it. So now one's going eastbound, one's going westbound, you know, which is better than it used to be. But it's kind of hard to find a place to park where I can get a picture of that in the backdrop. So, but I'm pretty happy with the way the truck looks in the sunshine. Even the hood that I didn't like in the light inside the shop looks better out here in the sun. I can't see that, so I'll have to look at it on the replay, but looks good. All right, back in the shop. It's nighttime. This is the after pictures. Trying to get it in the same light as we did before. So yeah, come out pretty good. I think it looks better outside than it does underneath these lights, but this is where I talked about I want to redo the hood. I'm going to wet sand it, try and get a better finish on that. It's still, the surface pretty rough, that was, so get that wet sanded so it's smooth. The smoother it is, the better it's going to lay down, and then the better it's going to reflect light, so that's how you get the shiny part, that's real shiny on the smooth parts. So redo just the hood and the roof, I think, maybe, I don't know. I think it looks good enough just the way it is, but might do it since it's still got a little bit of the product left. But come out pretty good. Tailgate, that thing was real rough. That's how it came out last time too. It looked about like that. It looks good, but it's not as shiny as, because it's not like shiny like this or the sides, because it was so rough, had so much scale on it. When I originally first started, I never really sanded, just Scotch-Brited it, didn't really sand it down or wet sand it or anything like that. So that's it. So let's see, let me look at the roof. Haven't even reviewed the thing from before. Yeah, that's where I went back over it, 30 minutes, hour after I'd already done it, and just to see. I knew it wasn't going to be good, but it streaked it up pretty good. So yeah, I was just kind of curious, because I kind of knew I was going to wet sand that and do it again. So, but still not bad, still better than it was originally. But so lessons learned on this entire process. First, don't mix it in those little plastic cups. Get some paper ones or some proper paint mixing stuff. So, these plastic cups, it just eats the bottom right out of it. The naphtha is pretty much what's in the wax and grease remover. So it's a little cheaper if you buy it just at Home Depot or Walmart or somewhere like that. But the wipe on clear coat, the Vice Grip Garage, the VGG, it's Poppy's Patina with a different label. Sold on the Vice Grip Garage page instead, but it's the same stuff. The shop is a mess. That's the rags from cleaning and everything. You don't want to pile them into a pile. They could spontaneously combust with the naphtha on them, kind of thing, as they're drying, if they're all piled together, because it heats up as it dries, kind of thing. So leave them all laid out so they won't burn nothing. But come out good. Looks real good in the sunshine. The more time you spend with the prep steps, the better the finished product's going to look. All the guys with the come out hazy and streaky, well, I done something I knew I shouldn't to the roof to get some streaks in it, kind of thing, just trying to see how it came out. That's where I went back over it, kind of thing. After the 20-second time limit, you kind of get the, so that's not good. So, but everywhere else come out pretty good. Different, it's clear. So anything that was underneath of it, you can see, and it's highlighted. So, the spots that looked better before, look different. The really smooth areas, they look like glass now. If they were smooth before, then you highlighted it. The logo still looks great, so that's my favorite part. That and this color right here. That color is just awesome. But come out good. It come out just as good as when I sprayed it on, except for the roof. I didn't when I sprayed it, I didn't screw up anything per se. You know, I think I ran a little bit on the tailgate on the first shot, and you know, adjusted the gun and started over, and everything come out fine. Used twice as much product to spray it as it does to wipe it. So, you know, I think if I do it again, I'll wipe it again, because the prep was a lot easier. Don't have to tape everything off. Don't have to cover everything in the shop. But yeah, I like it. And, you know, still done it today. Haven't set 24 hours yet for total cure, but, you know, I did drive it around. And anyway, after it was all dry, and, you know, looked good. So yeah, that's it. I'll add on to this if I redo the hood and the top, and just show you how that comes out too. But other than that, that's it. Pretty good product.